Sarah Te-Biasu. We'll start with an opening statement from Coach, and then we'll open it up for questions to the student athletes. Coach?
You know, obviously it's been a tremendous season for us. And when you talk about the disappointment or the agony of defeat, I think, you know, that is what today's game felt like. You got to give a lot of credit to St. Louis. You know, down the stretch, they just made some really key plays, and you talk about it's a game of inches or a game of possessions. I'm just so proud of the way that our team plays. It did not matter what that score was. That second half, we were coming back. We were battling together. You know, we got some really great stops. We got some open looks. These two, you know, just do such an excellent job, and I'm really just proud of our team. You know, obviously there's some things that you would like to have gone differently. You know, you make some of those foul shots, take care of the ball a little bit better, and then, hey, you're up here with smiles. What we talked about is all year long, it has been about our response. Our season's not done yet. We will be playing, and what lessons are we going to take from this? Yes, does it hurt because we dreamed of cutting down those nets this year? Of course, but it does not take away from the intensity, the effort, the way that this team has played all season long. And again, just very proud to be their coach at VCU. I told them I'd take this loss with this group over a win with anybody else, because it is about the people that you do it with. And these guys, they have done it all year long. Unfortunately today, we didn't get the results that we wanted.
We'll open it up for questions for the student athletes, and as a reminder, just announce who you are and your affiliation before you ask your question.
Zach Joaquin, Richmond Times-Dispatch. Sarah, walk us through their approach defensively. What did you see? It seemed like they were throwing a few different looks at you guys defensively.
They were doing like a zone the whole game, trying to slow us down and also putting some pressure. And I think they did a good job with that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And walk us through kind of that fourth quarter, a few swings, a few lead changes. I think Mariana hits the three to put you guys up, and then Kennedy hits the three to put them up one at the end. Walk us through that sequence there. What'd you see?
They did like a try to pitch back, and she was hot the whole game, and she was making threes for them, and they recognized that, and they passed it to her, and she hit it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Lamont Thomas, Finger Sports. Mariana, I just wanted to ask you about your defensive mentality. Played the most minutes for VCU on this team tonight, and it seems like when you guys kept scratching and clawing to get back in it took defensive plays. Can you just tell us about the mindset you had in making those shots?
I mean, we always pride ourselves on defense, and like defense is things that gets like our offense going. So I pride myself on like trying to get stops, trying to make like the good plays for my team, and trying to put us in like the best position we can to get our offense going and just get our momentum going overall. Because then again, like a good steal, a good rebound, a good charge could like bring the momentum back up and keep us going. So I think we all pride ourselves on like trying to get a good defensive possession every single time, and like getting a stop to a score, and if you don't score, getting another stop, and just trying to like keep that same mentality throughout the whole game.
Sarah, you were obviously emotional there at the final horn. I know it's tough, but the best you can, walk us through what's going through your head. Right as the game ends. It looked like you kind of dove to the floor and were emotional, and everyone kind of gathered around you.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard when you lose like in the quarterfinals, but they did a good job. They fight, and we fight too. They're a pretty good team. They know how to win that. They won last year, so they know how to do it. But we fight, when you fight and you get emotional and you give it all, and yeah, that was a good game.
Down the stretch there, as it's going back and forth, it got loud in here. Really good crowd. What was the support like for you guys with the black and gold faithful getting loud down the stretch there?
The fan?
Was it helpful, the volume in here?
How did the fans make you feel?
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, we don't think Zach speaks French, so that's the best I can do for you.
Sorry, Sarah.
They were great. The whole game they were supporting us. They gave us energy, and thank you to them, for the whole season.
Any final questions for the student athletes?
No, playing with Sarah is awesome. You know, like she was one of the reasons why I did come to VCU. Like I look up to her a lot, like the things that I learned from her, not just on the court, like off the court too. She's such like an amazing person to be around, and like her personality, her smile, she just brightens up a whole room. And like I miss her a lot, but you know, I just learned so much stuff from her, and she's always bringing me up even when I'm beating down on myself, and she's always been like that presence in my life, and she's a good teammate, and she's just a good friend overall, and I'm happy that I got to play here with her.
That's a good one to end on for the student athletes. We'll release them. Student athletes, thank you, ladies.
Thank you both.
And we'll open it up for questions for Coach O'Boyle.
Chris Powell, Couch Coach Live. Coach, great atmosphere today. What was your thoughts on the atmosphere, and also what was some takeaways, some positive takeaways from tonight's game?
Yeah, it's incredible. I think when you talk about the fans and our Ram Nation, you know, this is what you hope for when you're playing in Henrico, is that it's that loud feeling. And gosh, when you know we're talking about that run and hitting those threes to take the lead, it was so loud in here. It was really exciting. It's great to be a part of. I think when you come to watch women's basketball games and you get to be a part of the atmosphere and tournament time, I mean, just look at how this tournament has been. I mean, it is by possession in all of these games, and I think you will continue to see great games coming up. So I tell all of Richmond to come out. You know, we've got tremendous women's basketball players in the A10. Come be a part of it. You will absolutely enjoy it.
Beth, Zach Weiss, Atlantic10.com, another Zach that can't speak a lick of French. I have to ask you, just the jump this team took from injury reminded me a lot of when you had that group of freshmen that took such a big jump. Just what was this journey like, and how kind of, in a sense, was it similar? Because in a sense, they maybe did feel like freshmen coming off the injuries and helping them get those court reps.
Yeah, when you come off of a really difficult year like we did last year, and you know had a ton of injuries, and you know we're in a whole bunch of close games and didn't get the results that we wanted. I think it really it says, okay, what's your culture really like? What's your culture like when things are tough? Obviously, the transfer portal is the hot topic, and none of our players bolted. And what does that say? I think it says an incredible amount about the student athletes that we recruit, how they feel about VCU, how they feel about being in our program with our coaches and our team. And they came back, and they didn't just come back and say, oh, okay, we're here. They came back to say, hey, we're going to get better. We're going to work on our relationships off the court. We're going to work on our game on the court, and we're going to do it together. And so when you go from 7 to 26 wins, there's a lot of pieces that go into that. I really have an incredible staff. They work a ton of hours. They really spend time with our players. They get to know them as people, and then they work really hard with them on the court. And so, yes, I'm really proud of the way we have represented VCU, the way that we came back this year. And unfortunately, you're probably talking about 3 possessions different, and we're in a much different situation. But you got to give credit to St. Louis that they finished out the game at a really high level.
Natalie Hebron with the Next. Can you just talk about what areas you've seen the most growth in, or what you're most proud of your team for this season?
Yeah, great question. You know, I think when you're talking about being one of the top, or if not the top scoring defenses in the country, there's a lot of plays that go into that. You look at what Mike Halparum has done on the defensive glass and the rebounding. It's been incredible. You see Mary, all of the plays that she makes, Sarah, Tamaya, players coming off the bench. Jen had a huge day for us. I think it's just the confidence that continued to grow throughout the season. When you talk about where does your confidence come from, you know, lots of times teams can get caught up in it only being results. So if you win, you feel great. If you lose, you're down really low. And our team and the maturity that they came is, hey, our confidence comes from the way that we prepare. the way that we practice, how we get into the gym when it's not, it's at 11 o'clock at night. It's the way that we focus on our scouts. And I think that seeing that confidence grow is one of the best pieces about this season.
Adam Cheek, Sports Week. Coach, we talked earlier this week about the preparation going into the tournament. When you saw the defense they were throwing at Sarah, how did you guys adjust?
Yeah, I talked about it with our staff. I'm like, if we have the player of the year and we're going against them, we're not going to let them, shoot the ball. We're going to trap them. We're going to deny them. So it was a big piece. We've been talking about it, all week. Didn't really matter who the opponent was. We thought that would be a philosophy to get ready for. And, Sarah makes plays. You want the ball in her hands. You expect that good things are going to happen. And, unfortunately, the turnover there late. But, I think we were ready for it. It just, unfortunately, we didn't get that one more basket to fall. And really, I look at it more as like, okay, when we had the lead and it was 6, we needed it to go to 8. Right, we wanted to keep that possessions up a little bit higher, and unfortunately, we didn't get that basket when we needed it.
Hi, Beth. You alluded to it, I think 57-51, that you guys went up there, the place was getting loud, you had the momentum. What changed down the stretch that enabled them to kind of flip things?
I think it's so hard to really be like, stay in the possession, right? Because we had a good post up with Tamaya, then we had a dump down, and we just, the ball just didn't go, and we didn't make the layup to make it, 8. So then you're trying to go down on the other end, and it's like, don't be caught up on that next play. And when they hit that shot, then we knew, again, hey, can we come back and score? And it was a game of possessions. And again, I like the way that we came out at halftime and really put the pressure on and started doing some good things and moving the ball. I mean, our freshman Lou to hit that skip to Mary to bang the 3. I mean, the ball movement was great. And, you wanted to go differently in the final minutes where, hey, you could get that stop. And, obviously, Kennedy Payton made a big 3. And hats off to her because that's a big shot. And then they, 19 for 21 from the foul line, right? Everybody knows in March, what are the biggest pieces? Those foul shots and taking care of the ball. And I think today that was probably the stats that hurt us the most.
What did you see on that sequence with the Kennedy 3? Was it a missed assignment?
It was a really good play. We knew, what that action was going to look like, and we wanted to be out on it. And I thought she made a tough shot over long stretched arms of Michael, and you have to give her credit because that's a clutch 3, right? Those are the moments in March you dream about. So give her credit there. That was a big shot, and she knocked it down.
I know it's hard to look back this soon after, but you've been at VCU a long time. Comparatively, how much have you enjoyed your time with this group of girls and this team on what has been a historic season for you guys?
Yeah, I think back to last weekend, you have 6,000 fans at the Stew for our Support Her game. It's by far one of my favorite memories at VCU, the way that it happened, how you can, celebrate our seniors, celebrate our alums, what it means to have everybody out there supporting women's basketball. It is catching fire across the nation right now, and it's just what it felt like for our players to walk out into the Stew and have the fans chanting VCU. I know it'll be a memory that they will have. It's one of the ones that I will have, and hopefully it'll continue for us. We'll continue to build off of that, and like I know our season's not done now. We will be playing next. It's just where that's going to be and what lessons can we learn so we continue to make our run in the next tournament.
Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, guys.